Well, it looks like Pirate101 has finally rolled out some more new content. What could be in store for us this time? More bugs? Unplayable content? I guess you'll just have to see and find out. Alrighty, yo, what's up guys? Hope you're all having a great day so far. Good to see all of you guys. Back with another Pirate video, first time in a hot minute. But Pirate did release a new gauntlet, the Aggrobah job gauntlet. I did have the chance to play it. One of my good friends had the gauntlet and let me use it. Did a whole stream about it the other day. So yeah, just wanted to make a video kind of going over my thoughts on the dungeon, on the gauntlet, thoughts on the new companion, and on the gear that this drops. Honestly, after playing through it, I didn't think it was that bad of a gauntlet, to be honest. I thought it was cool. The music was good. Enemies were decently challenging. They had good epics. There was especially the boss fight too, where they ambushed you, so it wasn't like you get to go first. You had to like kind of play off what they did off the first turn. Definitely was a cool vibe. I would say it was a cool little gauntlet. However, unfortunately, I don't know if this is fixed. It was allegedly it's supposed to be fixed, but when you play the gauntlet on a character, you go through it. There is a 20+ hour cooldown before you can run it again, which is just so dumb. Again, allegedly, they're gonna fix it. But again, like that's just ridiculous. Like I heard that and I was like, there's just no way. But no, yeah, it's true. Additionally, there's been some bugs where people have been getting stuck in the gauntlet. It's probably I think it's having to do with dialogue, with like it getting stuck there before going into like the second or third fight, one of the two. And they just not being able to progress through the gauntlet. That's some stuff that I've heard too. But despite those points, I do think that being able to run through it all the way, I think that the dungeon overall, the gauntlet overall, was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Again, I like the music. I like the Mirage vibe, but I liked it when I played through in Wizard101 as well. So I did enjoy it. It was cool. Enemies had good epics, good fights. They were tough, not too tough like the Dutchman, because the Dutchman's a whole different story. If you know. Good God. But yeah, I thought it was cool. One of the staple things about Pirate101 bundles are that they come with a companion usually. So in the Aggrobah job gauntlet bundle, it comes with Monty the Merciless, this massive snake brawler, boa brawler to be exact. And he is honestly huge on the battlefield. He is massive. And starting off epic wise, he comes with Cheap Shot 2, Flanking 2, and Heavy Scales 1. Now Heavy Scales is pretty much it's a built-in fort. What it does at Heavy Scales rank 1, like he has on his base, if a melee enemy attacks him, any further attack will have a 50% damage reduction. So pretty much if he gets hit by a melee attack, he gets a 50% fort for the rest of that turn from any melee attacks. It's only for one turn though. But moving into what we gave him, ultimately, what the best build that I think is, obviously, he has the Cheap Shot 2, Flanking 2, can't really get rid of that. But giving him Heavy Scales rank 2 helps him to get that 50% fort for the additional turn when he's hit by melee and musketeer attacks. The only one that he doesn't get anything from is if a witch doctor, like a magic attack, hits him. He does not get that fort to protect himself from magic attacks. But from gun attacks and from melee attacks, he will get that 50% reduction for any further attacks that turn. Additionally, gave him Hold the Line 2, so he can hold 3 enemies per turn, as well as Vengeance Strike 3, because having that stun from the Vengeance Strike is really, really nice to have. As you can see, with his 3,500 health and 105 armor, Monty is a tank. So a usual different style than the Buccaneer is used to. He even gets the epic ability to give the team Hold the Line, so you can use that ability and give him Hold the Line rank 3 as well as the rest of the team another Hold the Line rank. He has that hit all ability, and then he has it's like a charge, kind of that like stop sign looking thing is like a charge with a glancing blow sort of thing. But of course, rough 4, tough 4, accurate 4, strong 4, and then armored. Because Monty is just a tank. You want to use him, he can soak up the damage, especially with that Heavy Scales ability. And yeah, it's just a little different than what we're used to seeing from a Buccaneer companion. But nonetheless, he's pretty good if you use him the way that he's quote-unquote designed to be used. I think he can be pretty helpful in certain situations. Also, I was informed that there may be potentially another way to obtain this companion in the future, so might not be worth buying if you just want the companion, because like I said, I was informed there may be another way to obtain him in the future. Alright, and finally I want to go over some of the gear that this gauntlet drops. It's actually just 3 pieces of gear that this dungeon drops from what I've seen. It's a universal hat, universal robe, universal boots. Starting off with the hat, we have the Street Cat's Turban. It just literally gives, 14 of all the stats plus accuracy. Critical Mastery, which is good. Discipline, the 5% crit buff. I mean, you're just probably not, there's just so many other better hats that you're going to be using. Like that crit buff is like, Privateers will have that already. Your Buccaneers are just not using that. Like, other classes just aren't really buffing like that with the crit buff. So this hat's probably not really going to be anything to write home about or anything to use. Up next, we have the Street Cat's Kaftan, or Kaftan, however you want to say that. And that, once again, 14 will, strength, and agility, plus the 8 weapon power. Maybe could be good. I'm not 100% sure, trying to compare it to other robes that are out there with stats. I know some classes go with the stat robe, like Swash and Buck, for example. So this could be good for those classes, plus with the critical mastery. But no one's really gonna want Cheap Shot, to be honest. Cheap Shot just kind of turns me away from this robe. If it's good, it's good. I don't really know 100%. My initial thoughts on it is like probably not gonna be replacing anything. And lastly, we have the boots here. Once again, the same thing across the board. 14, 14, 14 of all the major stats, plus the 8 spell power, which is, not bad. I love the spell power. Gives a critical mastery as well. And then retribution. I mean, as a witch doctor, you're just not really using that, to be honest. I mean, I guess as a shooty staffy musket or privy, that could be like a nice to chain, but then again, chaining's not your main really priority. I don't know. I feel like there's just plenty of other better boots. Like tide boots will still be better, even though like they're kind of made irrelevant in these this new content with the enemies like kind of finding ways to counter tide. But even other boots, like the ones from Sinbad Part 3, they give the spell power. There's other good boots. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's just definitely other good boots that could be used instead of these. I don't know how the gear looks, actually. I'm not 100% sure how the gear looks. Hang on, Future Slade here. Literally, I do know what it looks like. I'm gonna pop an image up on the screen. It's all right. It's all right. If it's your style for Stitch, then go for it. If it's not, then don't worry about it, because the stats aren't really anything good. The powers aren't really anything good. To me, it's just my opinion, of course. If you think it is, then go for it by all means. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on the gear. And that's going to pretty much do it for the video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed hearing about kind of my opinion and my experience of the new Gauntlet. Overall, I'd say it was a good Gauntlet, but definitely probably not worth the purchase right now, at least, especially with all the bugs, since they still haven't fixed from what I've heard, and the fact that you can get the companion a different way. I don't know. I thought it was fun, though. I did think it was fun. It was cool experience. But yeah, love you guys so much. Have a fantastic rest of y'all's day. Be safe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.